First, I want to put out our thoughts and prayers to the family of our emergency services deployment operator who succumbed to being of COVID-19. Certainly, I had the good fortune of speaking with his mother and father several times. As the mayor indicated, their request is that his name not be put out, and I'm going to honor that. But let me just say a little bit about him. He served as a city employee for 11 years. In fact, prior to coming to the Detroit Police Department 8 years ago, 3 years he worked for DDOT. And then he came over as what we call an emergency services deployment operator, which is a 911 call taker. But make no mistake, our 911 call takers, our dispatchers, are indeed first responders. He was a first responder. In addition, because of his tenure and experience, he was also used in our notification and control center to put out critical teletypes. But he was beloved. He was respected by all who worked with him. His mom had a lot of wonderful things to say about him. In fact, just on a personal note, he loved to cook lasagna. He loved to travel. In fact, he was planning a trip to see his brother in Las Vegas, and he couldn't do that. So he's going to be truly missed. But as the mayor indicated, and I want to thank the mayor again because of his leadership, and many times people know since I've been here, sometimes I come up with these wild ideas that cost money, but I knew it was important that in the event of an emergency, we would absolutely need a fallback, and we had that. Our fallback was our original communication system, which we had operational, and the fact that, and I want to take time to acknowledge Assistant Chief for his leadership, James White, his team. Ever since we launched our fallback center, it was tested on a regular basis. And so when we launched it yesterday, it was up within 3 hours. Unprecedented. That doesn't normally happen. It's very easy that when you launch this system that it will crash just because of the overload. But it launched. We were very methodical in how we did it, and it worked very well, and it's still working. As the mayor indicated, we're going to do several cleanings of our 911 center as well as our real-time crime center, and then within a couple of days they will return. I had a conversation with their union president, Jomo James, very supportive of the actions that we've taken, recognizing the importance of what 911 call center is. So we've made some other department changes which I'll go in shortly. But again, our ESDO was a solid member of our family, truly a member of our family, and a first responder. So what I can't give you right now, I know many of you are going to ask, well, now that we have someone come out of communications that tested positive for COVID-19, how many are impacted? We don't have a hard number right now. It could go anywhere between 20 to 25. I would tell you that what's unique about this situation, many of you remember just 3.5 months ago, roughly, there was another dispatcher killed in an accident on their way to work. Very tragic situation that had an impact on the entire communications center. Well, and now we face this. So there are a lot of men and women who work there that are certainly grieving because they're thinking about Ms. Simmons, who was killed in December of 2019, and now this. So again, our heart and prayers go out to them. I want to also thank, and before I get too far into it, I want to thank Dr. Dunn. You know, the mayor made Dr. Dunn available to the police and fire, and that's been a godsend. And frankly, Dr. Dunn has taken a very aggressive posture. I firmly believe the posture that he has taken in evaluating our members who could have been exposed to COVID-19 is working. I believe that because of that, you know, it's minimized the impact to our service delivery. As the mayor indicated, you know, our response time is lower. We look at our call loads, our priority 1 calls for service. There's been a slight decline since we started this, not much, but the bottom line is our officers are out there, they want to work, they want to get back to work, so we're very appreciative. And I just want to, again, as I've said in most of these briefings, thank you to the DPD, one of the hardest working police departments in America. They work hard, they're resilient, and they get the job done. I want to also thank, I talked about Assistant Chief White for his leadership in making sure this center went up in a timely manner, but also the rest of the executive team. We're talking about First Assistant Chief Stair and Assistant Chief LaValle, our deputy chiefs and our command officers who are really working hard and diligently to make sure we're addressing all of the nuances associated with this. Here are some changes, and you heard me report out last week that this is a quickly evolving situation. There's still some unknowns, but it's clear that this department has a great handle. Our priority is to make sure we keep our community safe. We are doing that. So, as we talked early last week about really backing off some of the low-level misdemeanor offenses, let me tell you what we're doing now. So roll calls, traditional roll calls certainly don't support social distancing. So what our team put in place is we replaced roll calls with electronic communication and information packets that are given out as officers come to work. We believe that this practice will again enhance social distancing even among our own officers. You can imagine in a roll call setting, people are very close together. Very excited about that. You heard me report just last week about expanded services of our telephone crime reporting unit. We've done that. That has been completed. So let me take a moment to kind of explain what that looks like. So as I put out last week, our normal telephone crime reporting number is 313-267-4600. 213-267-4600. We are encouraging the community, if it's a report call, use it. We encourage you not to come to this station unless it's an emergency. So the enhancement to the telephone crime reporting officer, we've taken civilian employees assigned to each of our 11 stations, with the exception of downtown services. They will be staffing the front desk. So we have a fallback number, and that fallback number that goes out to the precincts is 313-267-4602. Again, 313-267-4602. This is the overflow number. It'll ring in all the 11 locations across the city. If a civilian employee picks up the call in the 11th precinct, but it's regarding something happening on the east side, say in the 5th precinct, they're instructed to take the report. So that way that community members are not being passed around. One of the things we're going to do is affix signs to our station, reminding the public, if you're here for a report, use our report call number instead of coming inside. But in no means are we closing the doors of the police stations. The police stations will remain open 24 hours, 7 days a week to accommodate any emergency a community member might have. I just want to make that critically clear. Several days ago, I spoke with the Wayne County prosecutor, Kim Worthy, and in that conversation, we talked about how we would go forth dealing with warrants, search warrants, and arrest warrants. Together with our department, we launched what we call an electronic warrant submission system. So all warrants will now be electronically submitted to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, as well as all search warrants. On select warrants, probably homicide, we're in the process of working out the best way to make sure all the information is provided, certainly keeping in mind the importance of social distancing. So I know you're going to have some questions, but I think at the direction that we're going in the right direction. Again, this department's resilient. We succeed, and we are succeeding, but I'm very humbled to lead a department that just continues to persevere even when we're dealing with the unknown.